IPMNation.com.
All right, this is Tristan Omand. You're listening to Local Outbreak, IPM Nation, 100.1 The Planet.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation, and we are here at the studio in its brand new location at 598 Main Street in downtown Laconia. Very, very gorgeous place. So come on down, check it out. The website's the same, thestudionh.com, but please feel free to pop in. Melissa would love to see you. And, of course, we're also sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, you can go to centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin does a fantastic job. Of course, Tweak Sound and Mastering is a great place if you need some audio engineering / recording done and production. Tweaksound.com is the website. Don't forget Sonic Wallpaper. Of course, Ryan LeMay has been doing a great job helping kids in the area who couldn't otherwise afford music lessons get access to them, as well as Zach DeFosse at Inspire Music in Franklin doing something kind of similar there. So check out Inspire Music. And joining us again this week, we were talking off air. I believe this is the fourth official appearance on the show from this gentleman. We have Tristan Omand. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Got your brand new CD here in my hands. I know we were talking about it the last time you were on, and now it is officially out. The Lesser Known. So I guess, is it technically The Lesser Known Tristan Omand?
That's the full title, The Lesser Known Tristan Omand.
Is there a better known Tristan Omand? Is there like a really super famous Tristan Omand?
No, well, I get my name spelled wrong a lot. There's like Tristan Ormond a lot
yeah.
places. And, well, I guess it's just kind of like a step in another direction for me as far as subject matter. So that's why it's like, and it's like I'm an independent guy, like I'm, outside of New England, not a lot of people. I'm like, just another, person, out there trying to get through the world somehow, like playing music and
right,
like I am anywhere. But I guess the lesser known, just kind of like about being independent or getting out there. And it was a play on like the older album titles, like the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan or Another Side of Bob Dylan. Or Inside Dave Van Ronk, stuff like that. Like those older titles, they always had like.
I dig that, and and actually the album album cover art kind of evokes that too. I think. Yeah,
we were definitely going after a throwback to the older albums from the 60s, 70s.
Who designed that? The album.
That's Peter Noonan.
That's a familiar name.
Peter Noonan. Yeah, he does work for like New England or New Hampshire Magazine.
So that's a really
Hippo Press.
I think it's so familiar. I feel like I know him, and I'm just not quite picturing him. But yeah,
you may. Yeah,
I probably met him at some point.
He's a local Manchester guy, and he did the cover painting on oil painting.
Yeah,
and the back one is like a charcoal drawing. But yeah, he based it off of a photo of me.
He did both.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Yeah. No, that's great. Well, what do you want to do I know you had said, let's play a couple studio tracks and maybe do a couple live because you have your guitar with you. What do you want to do to end the first segment?
I'll play a song off the album.
Cool. All right.
This is a song called Maybe Nothing. Tried staring at a plant just to watch it grow, but I fell asleep. Tried telling a story from a secret I didn't know. Man, it was hard to keep. Well, the temperature in the attic made Grandpa's fiddle. The hide glue let go, it fell apart. And Grandma thought it happened when he died like a miracle. If she knew the truth, it would break her heart. 'Cause she's the type who sees Jesus in the blackness of her toast. What she sees in her coffee, I don't want to know. Maybe nothing. Maybe some lonely ghost. Maybe nothing. It's just the way it goes. Tried working a job that tortured my soul, but I broke the chains. And I ain't got much money, babe. I got holes in my clothes, but I know how to take the reins. Well, the temperature in the attic made Grandpa's fiddle. The hide glue let go, it fell apart. Grandma thought it happened when he died, like a miracle. If she knew the truth, it would break her heart. 'Cause she's the type who sees Jesus in the blackness of her toast. What she sees in her coffee, I don't want to know. Maybe nothing. Maybe some lonely ghost. Maybe nothing. Maybe some lonely ghost. Maybe nothing. It's just the way it goes. Said she's the type who sees Jesus in the blackness of her toast. What she sees in her coffee, I don't want to know. Maybe nothing. Maybe some lonely ghost. Maybe nothing. Maybe some lonely ghost. Maybe nothing. It's just the way it goes.
Very nice. Tristan Omand live here at the studio on Local Outbreak, and we'll be right back.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt Connarton from IPM Nation. We are here at the studio at 598 Main Street in glorious downtown Laconia and talking with Tristan Omand. And Tristan, I opened this up, and I have to say, too, on the inside, it really kind of reminds me of, like an old vinyl gatefold cover that you open.
Oh, okay.
And then which is cool. And then I noticed, too, it's got lyrics in there, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's cool. Nobody does that anymore. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's like most people want to look at the lyric sheet, I think, if it's there.
Right.
So somewhere along the line, people stopped doing it because it's either expensive or they thought no one was going to look at them. But
yeah,
I appreciate that stuff, so I figured that people who buy my music might appreciate it if they, can. Plus, it like really expands an album. You're not just putting something out with a cover and some songs. It's like,
oh yeah,
it adds some depth to it, and to be able to read the lyrics, I think, really lets the song sink in. I'm just a believer in the concept of the album.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you even have. Is this out on vinyl?
Yeah, it's out on vinyl.
Okay,
too.
wow.
Yep.
Has everything that you've released come out on vinyl, or
this is the second one I've done on vinyl out of 4 albums?
Okay. So I was going to say, when you were when you performed at Burt's, I seem to recall you had something else on vinyl.
Yeah, the album I put out late 2012 called Wandering Time. I did that on vinyl too.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, nothing sounds better than vinyl.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. It's like a lot of people don't realize, but vinyl always sounds better than a CD, and a CD always sounds better than an MP3. And,
yeah, CDs sound good, but they have their limitations too.
I always thought cassette tapes sounded better too, better than a CD.
Certain ones do if they're in good shape.
They have a warmth to them that a CD doesn't have. But of course, nothing sounds better than vinyl. So
yeah, for sure.
And what about the photos inside? It says James Zuko.
Jason Zuko.
Oh, Jason Zuko. The lights are dim here. He took both of these.
Yep. Yeah, and he took one of those is the photo that the front cover is based off of, the black and white one. But
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of included that as a, to show what it was based off of. But yep, that's both by Jason Zuko. He's a really good photographer based out of the Boston area.
Yeah, yeah. And was this all? This was, I assume, the whole thing recorded at Rocking Horse, Brian Coombs.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a name that comes up on the show a lot.
Oh, really?
Probably more than anybody else.
People that have recorded there come on here a lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's funny, too, because I don't think I've ever even met Brian Coombs.
Really?
But I've talked to so many people that have recorded with him, and everyone, just raves about him.
Yeah, he does nice work, and the studio's really awesome. One of the nicest ones I've been in.
Have you recorded with him in the past, prior to this?
Yeah, my last record I did with him in 2014.
Okay, the whole thing?
Yep.
Prior to that, if I remember correctly, you had done home recordings, right?
Yeah, my first one I recorded at home by myself on a Tascam 8-track recorder.
That's right. I remember talking about that.
Digital 8-track, yeah. And people still really like it, and it still sounds. I still am happy with how it sounds. And
yeah,
I haven't been able to get a good recording setup like that since, and that one was pretty cobbled together with equipment. I don't think I had more than $200 worth of recording equipment to do that.
That's amazing.
Just old used recording equipment, cheap stuff I'd had for a while.
Yeah.
And then but the key thing is to get it mastered and give it to somebody for mastering and have them go through it, and that really brings it up to like a professional level.
Right.
If you're gonna do any kind of recording. But yeah, and then the one I did after that, we did in like kind of a remote location in the Kimball Jenkins estate in Concord, an old Victorian place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I had a guy, Adam Brass, he was an engineer out of the Boston area. He came up and recorded it, and we worked 8 to 4 each day and did it in 2 days. I just sat down and played it, and we found a room with a nice sound. And yeah. I think that's kind of how I think I might want to do that for my next one. Yeah. Except I'm probably gonna. I kind of want to record it myself again.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, do another self-recorded one. Do it in a cool space.
And why is that? What about it? What about recording on your own like that do you miss?
I don't know. It depends. It depends on how the batch of songs comes out. Like if it's an album where I feel like there should be an emphasis on like some sort of either spontaneity or like a loneliness to it, like maybe like then I might do it myself. Yeah. And just because I think it would be fun, to do that and to be able to obsess over it, over the sound or whatever, or get really into it and not have to worry about spending money.
Right.
Not that I got great deals on the last couple albums with the people I worked with, but yeah. I might, I don't know, just because it's something fun to do. And if I find a cool spot, it might be neat to just go there and play the songs. And if it sounds good, just put it out, It's like.
Now, when you work with Brian, is he just engineering or, because I know sometimes in these situations, the engineer sort of becomes a de facto producer at the same time.
Yeah, he kind of does both. Yeah. He's more... I'd say he defines himself more as a producer, which
really? Yeah.
He is a producer primarily, but he's also a great engineer. Yeah. And he did both for this new album. Yeah. He produced and engineered it.
Okay. So. Now, does he not do mastering? Because you sent it somewhere else to be mastered, right?
No.
Dave Locke at JP Masters?
Yep, I did it. Yeah, Dave Locke did it.
Okay.
I tend to, most of the people I work with, they don't. Well, I think they can. They probably can master it if they wanted to, because they have some plugins or something. But they'd rather give it to somebody that just does mastering, right? Because some people can do the record, mix, and master. Mm-hmm. But and it might sound fine. But I'm still of the school of thought that you should give it to a mastering guy. Yeah, and let them do their thing. So
do you think part of that is? It's better to have someone with fresh ears.
Yeah,
working with it.
Definitely having a fresh set of ears is the main thing with that. I think my phone's going off.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was you or me.
Yeah,
that's
sorry about that.
That's all right. I don't know if the mics are even picking. Well, actually, the mics are picking it up because I can hear it in my headphones. That's okay. Yeah, it's happens.
Yeah. But what were we talking about?
The mastering.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, and definitely having another set of ears on it, because you kind of can wear yourself out and not hear things. Mm-hmm. And they have dedicated listening environments, and they've got all this $50-100 grand worth of gear just for mastering.
I
so
bet,
it's like,
yeah.
So I feel more comfortable doing that, you know.
Did you have the last one mastered there as well?
Had all. Yeah. Oh, the last one I did at Peerless Mastering.
Oh yes, that I've heard of. Yes,
with Jeff. Yeah.
Okay.
And did great job. Like really nice place.
Yeah.
But this one I went with Dave Locke. I'd used him on a few other albums.
Oh, okay.
On my first album and on an album I did with my old band when I was like 15 years
old.
Oh, no
kidding.
I saw his ad in a Boston Soundcheck magazine and like cut it out and I was like, okay, I'm going to send our album to this guy.
I remember Boston Soundcheck. Is that still around?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I used to read about like Scissor Fight and Kicked in the Head and like all these local bands.
Yeah.
And Boston Soundcheck. It was a little like, it was the size of like a Reader's Digest.
Yep.
Or something.
Yep. And
they were always for free at like Newbury Comics and Daddy's Junkie Music. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's still like the noise from
Boston. That's still around? See, I didn't know that was still around.
I think
That's
it's
cool.
still around.
Really,
the one where you turn the page and your fingers get black from the ink.
Yep.
But I think you can still get that, and of course there's like the Hippo and around here, and then the Sound in Portsmouth, which was the Wire, I think, and now they're called the Sound.
Okay, I remember the Wire. I didn't know it was called the Sound now.
But I believe it is. I think that's how it went, but there is the Sound. I just did an interview with the Sound prior to the release show. It came out that week.
Oh, good.
I did an album release show at the Stone Church on the 16th.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that when you were planning. Now, how did that go? Was that...
That went great. It was excellent.
That's a nice room.
Yeah, it was great, and we recorded it. We recorded the set for a live album, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
very cool.
And I think it's going to come out real nice.
Yeah.
The crowd seemed to really dig it. So
any kind of an ETA on that?
I'm not sure when we're going to do that. If later in the year or maybe early next year. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I want to start. I'm going on tour next month I'm doing like 21 shows next month, I think. And I'd like to do some writing while I'm out on the road, try and get an album written, maybe record it in some different spots like the demos.
Yeah.
And spend that time writing, and I'd like to start working on my next album already. I just want to keep going, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep that momentum going. Yeah, you've toured. I remember the first time we talked, you toured pretty extensively, right? I mean, as far as getting out of here and where you had gone, like, didn't you go all the way down south? Or
Yep. Yeah, probably when I first talked to you, I had done a few tours down to like New Orleans and back up.
Yeah.
So I was doing that stretch first couple tours.
Wow.
And, every year since 2011, I've done it. I've gone out and done at least like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Like, and most of the time, I do a small tour or two at some point of the year, or like some weekend stuff. And but definitely. I mean, this past year I did a fair amount of New Hampshire gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
But next month I'm getting out again and going as far south as Georgia.
Wow.
And, you know, mostly hanging in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Nothing too far west. So.
Do you find, this may be an odd question, but do you find geographically that your music is, when you play live, more well received in certain places than others? Like if you, like when you said you went all the way down into New Orleans prior. I mean, are there places where just people are more open to what you're doing, or more into kind of the singer-songwriter vibe? Or
yeah, there's certainly, like, sometimes I'll play like, all right, this is a rock and roll town. You know, it's like a town where people go out, they drink, they smoke, they listen to loud bands.
Right.
And I play there, and I'm like minority, you know. And then I'll play other places where the coffee house thing or singer-songwriter is popular.
Huh.
But a lot of the shows that I play, with the exception of like at a good opening slot or doing like having an album release show or some sort of event like that where there's a lot of people there, most of the time they're, you know, kind of smaller shows.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick like any one spot that's really good. I guess like I've done well in like upstate New York.
Yeah.
And down around Virginia and Maryland, like I do well there.
Yeah.
And yes, it's kind of a mixed bag, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've had some times where I've played in like New York City where it's just like can't get through.
Yeah.
You know, but then I've played some great shows in New York City, so it's mixed. It's a mixed bag. Like I it's rare that I write out off a place just because of show didn't go the way I want to. It's like things just change, and I'm just gonna keep playing and coming around, and but it's there certainly are shows. I guess it's more so like playing the right kind of show, like getting a gig where it's like a songwriter kind of thing. It's like opening for a loud band sometimes isn't always the best situation, or like sometimes you're just out of place, but the more it can be attuned to like the type of musician you are, like if you're in the right spot and it feels right, then it's pretty easy. But I have been, played enough shows to where sometimes it feels okay. Maybe in the wrong spot.
Square
and
peg.
Hope it goes good and probably won't come out again. It's like
right.
So, but I'm rambling, so sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like it probably wasn't a good fit, but you were able to win them over, kind of win over the crowd? Or
yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, I've probably told the story before, but I've trailed a bunch of times actually, but the one that always comes to mind is when I played in Birmingham, Alabama for the first time, and it was at like a rock and roll club, and I played I headlined after like 4 or 5 metal bands.
Oh wow!
At like 1:30 in the morning, and like it was like the odds were against me, but I stuck around and I just played as well as I could, and ended up being a great show, and everybody stuck around, and
that's cool.
Made friends with all the bands, and it ended up being a great night. So and it was my first tour I was on too, so I was like fish out of water, like and like so stuff like that. But but as you go and you play more shows and stuff like that, you get to know like, okay, this type of place is more my style,
right?
I don't like some people will play solo, can get into the rock clubs and play those kind of places, but I found I do my best work like in this quieter, like listening room. Like old folky kind of places, like folky rooms, like coffee houses and listening rooms, like I said, and singer-songwriter type places. It's just like comedians that go on, they tour the country and they do the comedy club circuit.
Right.
It's like there's a whole thing for that for folk music, and it's the coffee house circuit, cafes and whatnot.
The Birmingham thing is interesting though, because I bet going on, because you had to go on at the end.
Yeah.
You probably won some respect from people, and that's probably part of why because a lot of people in that situation wouldn't have stuck around.
Right.
If they had been you, they would have been like, this isn't going to work. I'll just take off, but so you probably earned some respect from the people there, so they stuck around, and then they turned out they dug what you did.
I think they were, they were surprised. It's like, skinny kid from New Hampshire with an acoustic guitar headlines to a metal show, like it was poor booking, on someone's part, obviously, like to put me on like as the headliner on this show. It didn't make it real logical sense, but
right.
But it taught me that just stick it out, and you're here to play music. Or this is, you agreed, to be here, and just do it and make the best of it. And I did, and it turned out good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear another track. What do you want to do? Do you want to play something from the disc, or you want to play something live, or totally up to you?
Yeah, we can play something from the disc.
Okay.
How about Old Straight Six?
Okay. All right. So this is Old Straight Six from the lesser known Tristan Omand, not Ormond, Omand.
That's right.
You're on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Well, you're bending my ear, you're twisting my arm, you're taking the long way around the barn. Got a pocket knife, got a pocket watch, got no cherry wine or bargain scotch. Got an old straight 6, it's 3 on the tree. It's old, tired, $5 more, 3 days' bread, and I'll make it farther than they all said. No need to forget me when I go away. You'll be reminded of me nearly every day. Gotta know straight 6, it's 3 on the tree, and it's worn and tired and strong like me. Well, I bet all the sand at Hampton Beach, say the life you wanted is within reach. These chords have been used in every which way. It's not the chords that are used, it's the way they're played. Well, you're bending my ear, you're twisting my arm, you're taking the long way around the barn. Gotta know straight 6, it's 3 on the tree, and it's worn and tired and strong like me. Well, I bet all the sand at Hampton Beach, say the life you wanted is within reach. Well, you're bending my ear, you're twisting my arm, you're taking the long way around the barn.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton from IPM Nation here at the studio at 598 Main Street here in downtown Laconia. Talking with Tristan Omand, and he's got his new CD, The Lesser Known Tristan Omand. So, so you're going to be touring when, in May? Is that when you're
May.
you're hitting the road? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I leave like May 15th.
And you said 21 shows you've got lined up?
Throughout the month of May,
Yeah.
not counting some like songwriter nights I'm gonna hit up on off days on the tour around Tennessee and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's certain ones that like I can't really count as full on shows.
Right.
But the ones that I'm booked, about 21, 22 shows in May.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty happy about that.
Will this be the most shows you've done on a tour?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first tour I did was about 18 days.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow. That's still quite a bit.
and I don't think I had that many shows. I think
Yeah.
I maybe had a dozen shows, so I had some days off. and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
But yeah, I'd like to do longer tours. Like I'm planning on doing a longer one, and I was hoping the end of summer, but
Yeah.
I need to get on the booking for that. But yeah. This is probably the most amount of shows I've played in like a month's span. Like so.
Yeah.
I always feel like I could be busier, even when I'm at my busiest points.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it probably feels that way too psychologically because because so much of your time is spent. I'm sure you've thought about this. Driving versus that short amount of time that you're actually playing. It's
Oh yeah.
most of it's spent just driving.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's silly. Like the life of a musician, you know, like a lot. I heard this quote, it's like 90% of your time is spent waiting.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, you're in the road, you know, in the van or the car on the way to the gig.
Yeah.
That's more time. Then you get there, you load in, then you wait around, you sound check, you wait around, and then it's like, you do the show, it's like 45 minutes, and then and then you're waiting around till the next show. It's like, yeah, I mean, if I were to quantify like all the driving or travel that it takes to get to a gig, and then like the set times, it would be pretty disproportionate, I think. Like, I remember doing a show in New York City, and I rode the bus down with my guitar in front of me, like it was all cramped, like the Fung Wah bus or something like that. And so I had to take like a bus to Londonderry, and then a bus from Londonderry to Boston, and then Boston to New York, and then I had to take the subway to get to the gig. Yep. And then I played a 45-minute set, and then I stayed with somebody, and then took the Amtrak home the next day, and then a bus from Boston to Londonderry. Yeah. So it's like all this travel, and then it was expensive too, and I don't think I made more than like $40, but it was just like, whatever. This is, you know, I wanted to ride the bus to a gig, and I did. Yeah. It was fun, and you know, I don't regret it. And but yeah, a lot of it is spent. A lot of times you're like learning to kill time and do it well, like on tour. That's the thing. It's like some people can just be driven mad, but if you like, you know, bring books with you and, you know, take care of yourself, don't get drunk every night. Like, that's part of the thing is like a lot of bands like people go on tour for the first time, they get drunk every night, and it's like, oh, you didn't. Well, I can remember doing that my first couple tours, just like totally abusing it, and like when I was in bands, like just like, wow, how did I get here? Oh yeah, someone drove us. Like someone drove the van, and we ended up here. Yeah. After, you know, a show where I was too drunk to keep the guitar in tune. You know, it's like I don't know, like that's like, I don't know, that's like. It's like, that's not why you're out here. You know, you're out here to play music, you know, and whatever, you know, when you go out just out of high school, out on the road for the first time, you know, on your own, like it's a little different. But now when I'm, you know, almost 30, it's like a lot different, you know. Like, I just want to play a good show and don't really drink anymore. And I just, like, want to remember the shows, you know, like I don't remember a lot of those shows where we would drink and stuff a lot, you know, before as a band or whatnot, and I you know, I have a lot of good memories too. Sure, and of course, learned a lot and stuff. But then also like you can learn from your mistakes, and like you know, that drinking doesn't help. You do things like music. I don't think very much. You know, it's like some people feel like it's like fuel for them, but I don't know. It's just more so a crutch, you know. Yeah, you know? Yeah. Well, and plus it makes it that much harder. Not to get preachy, but yeah. No, but it's true, and it makes it that much harder to get up the next day and get moving, you know. Yeah, I mean, I love being able to be up early on a Saturday morning and start a project or something. Right, or like when, you know, a bunch of other people who may have been at the same event I was at are all, you know, in a bad way. They're like in front of the TV all day trying to recover, you know. And I'm able to get up early and get going. It's like, I love it, you know, the clarity and to play a show and forget words or like be lost in a song that I've put so much work into is like really disheartening. So it's just nice to have a clear head when you're doing something that you care about. Yeah, you know? Yeah, definitely. Do you play any covers when you play live? Or? Yeah, I do. I do a handful of covers. Yeah, like if I do a long bar gig where you're playing like 9 to 12 or 8 to 11 or something, like I'll probably do like 90%, maybe 85% originals, 15% covers. But I do like a lot of the covers I do. Not a lot of people have heard of. You know, I'm doing songs by Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt, John Prine, like. There's a niche audience of people that know them. Yeah, you know? But and then sometimes I'll do some traditional songs or something like that. But yeah, I do some, but not. I don't lean on them too heavily. Yeah. Do you tell the audience if you're doing a cover that it's kind of obscure that they might not know? Do you tell them it's a cover? Yeah. If I'm playing a gig where I can talk to the audience,
Yeah.
like if I'm doing a bar gig where I'm just the background music, I don't talk.
Right, yeah.
Or, but if I'm doing one where I'm able to like talk in between songs and the audience is there to see the musicians,
Yeah.
Then I'll definitely explain it.
Yeah.
Or like introduce it, or like definitely give the audience a clue as to because hey, maybe that might be their favorite song of the night and they may think I wrote it.
Right.
I don't want to take credit where it's not due. So,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is it hard to put down a set list as far as narrowing down what you're going to play? Because you got a lot of music.
I think it's easier the longer I do this.
Yeah?
It's easier to write set lists, like
Really?
because
Yeah.
I have more material to pull from. And I feel like it feels like I've been doing it a while, but I really haven't. I mean, I've been playing music for almost 20 years as a guitar player.
Yeah.
But doing solo work, I've been writing solo songs for quite a while too, since I was like a teenager. But
Yeah.
I've been doing it like straight on, like just focusing on this for about six years or so. Just doing solo work. But
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to the next however many 50 years or whatever, like just putting out album after album, and I'm looking forward to having a lot of material. But yeah, I feel like the longer I go, the easier it is to write a set.
Yeah, that's good.
Just because you've narrowed down the bad ones, or taken out some of the weaker songs
Sure.
and replaced them, or written new songs that can replace ones that aren't so up to par. But
And you've got some guest musicians on this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Did your other albums have guest musicians, or were they?
Just the last one did, actually.
That's what I
11 Dark
thought.
Horses. That had a lot of guests on it, and this one we kept it simple to Brian Coombs made an appearance playing bass on one song.
Okay.
And Jay Saros, he played lead acoustic guitar on several tracks.
Oh.
And he's a really great singer-songwriter out of the Boston area.
Yeah.
And Will Kindler, he's a New Hampshire musician. He's a really great singer-songwriter. And Delaney Pickering. Will Kindler played pedal steel on one song. And then Delaney Pickering played some acoustic blues leads on the second song of the album, The Devil Don't Want Me Blues.
Yeah.
And she's a really excellent guitar player and singer-songwriter. She's quite young, too, under 20 years old, and doing really well.
Yeah.
So I was glad to have them on there. And we cut most of them live on the studio floor. Like,
Cool.
They were watching me sing and play, and they were playing along with me. And when it was done, it was done.
Awesome.
So
yeah.
that was cool. And the only ones that weren't like that were the pedal steel and the bass.
Oh, okay.
But those are kind of hard to do that way, unless there's isolation and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But having a little bleed on acoustic guitars is not. That's fine with me.
Sure.
But yeah, I was glad to have them on the album.
Cool. Well, let's hear another song. What do you want to do now?
Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a tune called "A Letter Home."
Okay.
And it's the second to last song in the album.
Okay.
Haven't gotten any new tattoos. Still driving that old truck. Sure, it's lost a quart or two. It's never left me stuck down in a rut. And it's a long road to go down when you're going it alone. It might break your heart or chill you to the bone. Oh, the commonality of hearts breaking on their own. Like the saddest little ray the sun has ever shown. I don't drink too much or sleep too good, and the smoke makes mincemeat of my mind. But it's a welcome feeling, and I knock on wood, thanking dear God that I'm still alive. Sell a guitar just to pay the rent, living on peanut butter toast. Spend my days wondering where my nights all went, singing songs nobody knows. And it's a long road to go down when you're going it alone. It might break your heart or chill you to the bone. Oh, the commonality of hearts breaking on their own, like the saddest little ray the sun has ever shown. Oh, yeah. Lost my hat in Johnson City, threw a tie rod east of there. So I cut my hair and I headed down the Mississippi on a steamship straight out of a museum. Well, I enjoyed the mornings most. They were misty and still, except for the sounding of the horns off the reverberating hills. I was taller than I felt and more desperate for the road, and I couldn't barely wait to get the hell off that boat. Oh, and it's a long road to go down when you're going it alone. Yeah, it might break your heart or chill you to the bone. Oh, the commonality of hearts breaking on their own, like the saddest little ray the sun has ever shown. Oh,
Tristan Omand live. We'll be right back.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt Connarton from IPM Nation here this week with Tristan Omand. And Tristan, what's where should people go online? I mean, you'll by the time this airs, you'll already be on tour. But where should people go online to keep up with where they can see you live and how to get your music and all that good stuff?
Yeah, the best resource is always my website, tristanomand.com, tristanomand.com. It's usually the first thing that comes up on Google if you put me in.
Yeah.
And then also I've got a Facebook music page, and yeah, I'm also on Instagram and all that. I'm not a Twitter guy yet, but
yeah.
I don't really know what to do with it. But yeah, tristanomand.com is the best spot.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, so you'll be out on tour in May, and then do you have shows booked into the summer in this area? Or
yeah, actually, my next area show, like right before I leave for tour, is May 13th. I don't know if this is going to air at that time, but May 13th at NEC in Concord, New England College. Their storefront there on Main Street.
Cool.
I've been doing a monthly series there called 6 Strings, 3 Chords.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, since January to June, we do it once a month, and it's me and a guest and a featured songwriter.
Yeah.
And we alternate sets and do a song together, and it's like a listening room, coffee house kind of style setup, and they do shows there quite regularly.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice little spot to check out, NEC, New England College on Main Street in Concord. it's called the Listening Room series or something that they put on their put on shows, and they asked me to do like a concert series there.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, that's been going really well, and the next one is, like I said, May 13th, and yeah, it's going to be me and Mike Gratton from he was in a band called Down to the Well. A lot of people know him as Miketon.
I was gonna say, I remember Down to the Well. Yeah.
Yep, Down to the Well was an excellent band, and but yeah, he's going to be the special guest. So that's the next one. Yeah. In this area, I'm playing some before that I'm forgetting, but yeah. And but yeah, I'm always around. I'm like you can't get rid of me. Yeah, I'm always around. So check out the website.
And of course, the new disc is called The Lesser Known, Tristan Omand. And Tristan, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And what do you want to do to wrap up the show?
Let's see. What do you want to hear a song, or do you want to play one off the record?
Oh, let's hear something live. The acoustics in here are so good. Might as well.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right.
Let's see. What do I want to do here? I'm going to do, this is Devil Don't Want Me Blues.
Got the same chord progression. It's an institution you should know. Take your unchecked aggression and hide it down below. My fingers are hurting from the same old blues. I've been out there searching in the morning dew. Well, I didn't find nothing. I found something to do. It's not called Satanism, it's the plagiarism blues. It was Sunday evening, head full of smoke, dozing off a little bit. I hope I don't choke. Well, I tried to sell my soul to the devil, but he said he was good to go. He said, you got more problems than you'll ever know. But even I don't want you in your plaid flannel clothes. Go back to your flat top guitar. Go on down the road, yeah. Oh, pick it, Tristan. Yeah. Well, I got me some feet down in my shoes. They're tapping out the time to the plagiarism blues. Well, my fingers are hurting from the same old blues. I've been out there searching in the morning dew. Well, I didn't find nothing. I found something to do. It's not called Satanism, it's the plagiarism blues, yeah.
Very nice.
Thanks, man.
IPMNation.com